Welcome back, travelers, to Legendary Lore, where we will be awakening the trolls. I'm Ricky, and this is my tenacious troll of a friend, Joe. Say hi, Joe.
The old troll who lives under the bridge.
Anyways, so basically,
Hey.
Kaya has now been on the Cosima's Omen kill for a while now. She eventually lands on the shore of another area, a new plane, basically. And so, basically, there's no sign of Vorinclex. There's none of those veins. There's no horribly mutilated wildlife, and there's no signs of any life in general that's like, I guess you could say, sentient. It turns out that she's in troll territory, troll country, if you will.
Troll country.
Country trolls take me home. So basically what ends up happening is that she sees a bunch of little trolls. By little I mean not the really big ones, because there's some trolls that are boulder sized and they're very sleepy, and then there's the trolls that are more likely to actually just
those are the ones that can heal your ice wounds.
Yes. I'm
It's a Frozen
guessing you're
reference.
talking. I was going to say, I guess you're talking about Frozen. Okay. Those are very small ones. They're a bit of a fixer-upper. But more importantly, she sees 4 trolls that appear. And they're carrying weapons. And they see a hooded man. He gestures toward them. Friends, he says in a low, sonorous voice. You know my many names. I am called Trickster by some, Ruse Forger by others. Some have called me the Prince of Mischief, some the God of Lies. All know me as Valky. And my first gift to you, the gift of languages, is free. Hear my words, understand them. What I have to tell you is of grave importance. And so Kaya's like, hold up, why is there a god talking to these trolls, and why did he just teach them how to talk? Because being a god, he just had that kind of power, right? A time of great strife approaches. Soon a path will open to cruel and strange worlds, filled with creatures of great avarice and wickedness.
I like how your Tybalt voice is Zap Brannigan mixed with Kermit.
Hi ho, Champagan. If allowed, these savage peoples will burn the
Because I wasn't
forest.
trying to mix it with Kermit, but
Yeah,
I realized that's how all my voices sound.
yeah, it's just my voice. Is that my voice? Is that my voice? These savage peoples will burn the forest of Notvold being their region, their plane, to the ground. They will put the proud clans of Trollkind to the sword. Silence. The occasional nervous clacking of teeth were the only response he gets. They're like... But of course, Valky's not phased. These foul invaders wish to... He paused, seeking the right words. They wish to seize the treasures from your warrens. At that, the trolls respond. They're like, oh no, we can't have any of that. And he's like, yes, I know. There is but one solution to this. The clans of Notvold must attack first. Too long have you been divided by petty rivalries. Strike as one, and none shall be able to stop you. And then she sees the Valky glimmers. And Kaya sees this. Obviously, they wouldn't have noticed it, but it wasn't the same kind of glow that Alrund had. And so she realized it was an illusion. And so she's like, why would the God of Lies be able to make an illusion that's that bad? Because obviously the God of Lies would make like Loki level of illusions, right? And so what she does is she basically casts disenchantment. She disenchants by just like, she blows the disenchantment at him, like a little bit of like little dust, little purification spell, and it hits him, and it goes across. And when it hits Valky, it starts to like swirl around him, and he's like, Oh, snap. Who dares to show yourself? He spat angrily. And so she's like, that was a terrible illusion. They're dumb trolls, obviously, but I can recognize you, Tybalt. And so like he just gets like really excited. Like he's smiling, but he's not like happy smile. It's more like a I'm gonna enjoy killing you. Sharp eyes on this one. Have we been acquainted then? No. But what is it they say? The reputation precedes you. And so, basically, Kaya introduces her to Tybalt. Tybalt's like, I know you. You're a sneak, a thief, a contract killer. And she's like, well, you're just a person who kills for fun. He's like, I suppose. And she's like, why are you here? He goes, I'm not going to tell you. And so he's like, instead, I'm going to kill you. So he tells the trolls that are around him, kill her. She fights them. She defeats a bunch of these little guys. And it's like, oh no. But Tybalt gets away. In the actual previews for the thing, they show Tybalt running away from her in Notfold. And he's like, yes. And he's gone. But what's funny is that as she's chasing after him, he tells her, you run like the devil. It's like he is completely aware of how like intolerable he is. He knows. Like so he gets
he's
away.
aware he's the Red Joker.
Yeah, he loves it. And he even tells her, she's like, why are you doing this? What's in it for you? And he's like, it's chaos. That's my reward. The chaos that is here. Obviously, they should have said the chaos and pain because his whole deal is being a pain mage, but chaos also makes a ton of sense for his character. So he's telling her, why are you even here? This isn't any of your business. Go home. They're not your people. Let me have my fun. And she's like, well, I do have business here because there's a monster in Kaldheim. Something that's not supposed to be here. Is this your fault? He's like, monster? Why, I'm shivering in my boots. I positively must find somewhere to hide. Let me just... like, she tries to stop him, and of course he gets away. And he doesn't just get away normally. What he does first is he tells her about the Hagi. The Hagi are the small trolls that she'd been fighting and having no trouble with. But then he was telling her about the Torga, which are very large boulder beings. And he whistles to wake up a bunch of them that he basically let her into a trap in. Then he takes his sword and he cuts it. It's a sword of the realms. He cuts it and he steps through and it seals behind him. And it's like, Tybalt's gone. So much for that. And the Torga start just pounding away at Kaya. And she's doing everything that she can to stop these giant monsters from tearing her apart. She's like phasing through them and stuff like that. And it's very difficult. She actually breaks her daggers that she normally uses. They're destroyed by these creatures. And every time she managed to get some damage in, but then it just healed. Because obviously Troll's whole deal is regeneration. Now it's indestructibility, but same principle still applies. Then something happens. There's a rustling in the wind. Somewhere a shirt is crying. It's cold. Two things stab through the air. Oil just magically pouring onto this man's body that just bursts from the trees. His perfectly braided hair glittering in the wind. It's Tyvar.
Really?
Yeah. Somewhere a shirt cries. Abandoned long ago. She goes, how long have you been standing there? He's like, ha ha ha. And she's like, get out of here. He goes, I'm not so sure I should. I see that you've lost both of your blades. Well, I still have my secret weapon. She's like, what? And he just picks up a tiny stone. A little rock.
Kansas.
What?
Kansas.
Kansas.
Little Rock, Kansas.
Brilliant. But no. basically, he shows off his ability. He runs up to a troll and he touches it. The guy is basically dancing around the trolls, and the thing is, he's so fast that he's not even trying. It describes him as literally waiting for the last moment to dodge. So like it'll be coming at him, and then he'll wait till it's like right here, and he'll be like, no. The guy is.
So he's using Ultra Instinct.
Yeah, he's basically Ultra Instinct, Elfman, and so Tyvar touches the troll, and the troll turns to stone, because trolls are already really close to being stone. They're like it was basically a giant boulder monster. He turns it to rock because it's already about to be rock, and his whole deal is being able to transmute things according to that kind of deal. So she's like, okay, what are you? Who are you? Why are you here? He goes, I am Tyvar Kell, Prince of the Elves of Skemvar, greatest hero in all the realms, your personal savior. She's like,
Tyvar. You want to know my secret identity?
She's like, okay, Tyvar, I get it. And so she's like, why are you here? And he's like, I'm following Valky. She's like, that's not Valky, he's Tybalt. It's not the same. It is not the same. He's Tybalt. Tybalt's still a bad guy. He goes, yes, I gathered that. And I love the fact that this guy's basically Thor, too. Like, Arnie was a show-off because he was just like that chaotic good. Like, he just wanted a bigger bad guy to take down. Tyvar is like, he's a glory hog, but at the same time, he's really not. He's just the kind-hearted jock, I think is the best way to put it. He's the kind-hearted jock.
Good that she actually kind of hate because he's annoying.
Yeah.
It's just his personality, but the being annoying doesn't go away from the fact that he's a good guy.
And what's cool is that, well, right here, this moment, he goes, yes, I'd gathered that thanks to your handy dispelling. I'd been suspicious of him for some time, though. Not long ago, he came to see my brother in court. I don't know how it lies, he told Harold, but ever since that visit, the elves seem to have been preparing for war. There are rumors,
Harold's a card too, right?
The what?
Harold's a card too, right?
Yes, he is King Harold. He is King of the Elves. And so basically, she looks at him and she realizes, like, this guy actually has something that he's worried about. And he's been following Tybalt because he's been messing with not just these trolls. He's probably messing with several groups of characters. He messed with the elves. He's messing with the trolls. Who knows what else he's done already and what else he plans on doing. And so while this is happening, Tyvar's like, I don't really know what Tyvar's endgame is, what Tybalt's endgame is, because there's no way these different groups can fight each other. They'd have to have an opportunity. And then Kaya drops a little bit of a thing on him. She says, Alrun told me a Doomscar is coming. And she's like, that's not good, is it? And he's like, no, it's not. But how did you hear about this? How did you hear this from Alrund? And she's like, yeah, he's a nice guy. He lent me a boat. He's like, what? And he goes, wait, but is Tybalt your enemy? And she's like, well, I mean, I don't know what he's been up to, but I know it's not good. And he's like, excellent. We'll pursue him together then. Clearly you need my help. And it's like, Tyvar.
We all know who the leader is, right? Me, right?
She's like,
of course.
And that's the thing, is like, she can't go after Tybalt because she's going after Vorinclex. Right? And so she says that, and Tyvar's like, but he's evil. She's like, I don't know where he went. He just used a sword and he opened up some kind of portal. We can't follow him. And he goes, well, did you see anything on the other side? She goes, no, it was just like fire, black ground, like everything was on fire. He's like, Immerstrom. Because Immerstrom is the realm of demons, and Tyvar is absolutely ecstatic that his saga is requiring him to go to the realm of demons to chase after this guy, to hunt down this god pretender. And it's like, awesome, let's go. And she's like, well, you don't have any magic boats, do you? And he's like, he has his eyes closed and he starts like doing his own knot work in the air, and he creates a portal. And so he learned how to basically planeswalk between the Kaldheim realms. And she's like, wait, you're a planeswalker. And he's like, what?
I'm a what?
Here's how she figures it out. The sorcerers of Skemp are experts at their craft, and you can count me an expert among the experts. I've been all throughout the realms of Kaldheim. My natural gifts express themselves a bit differently in each one. She took a step closer. Something caught her eye. In the bundle of charms around his neck, among the bones and gems and little twisted bits of metal, was a small octahedron of stone. Covering the sides was a minute, precise etching. A design she had seen before, but not from there. Ah! He holds up the stone. Feel free to admire it. I found this one in a remote realm. One even the sagas don't speak of. It was called... Joe, what was it called? Zendikar, Joe. He had a hedron on his necklace. So, Tyvar has been... He's already sparked. He's a planeswalker. And it's crazy.
He doesn't really realize it because his own home is a bunch of realms in one plane.
Exactly. The thing I find upsetting, though, is that in his artwork, they don't show that necklace they're talking about. So
yeah, I was gonna say, just like, I don't know what necklace you're talking about.
Yeah, it doesn't show it in his Planeswalker art. I haven't checked other artwork, but
Yeah,
it
like
says that
full
he.
artwork, maybe it shows it.
Yeah, but that was the end of that story. Now we're going to be going into what is technically 2 side stories in the next episode, but I think they deserve to be part of the main storyline. They're about Nico, and they kind of introduce Nico and all that stuff. So,
That'll
Joe,
be interesting here. I love how Kaya's development has come too.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we met her as a true neutral contract killer. She worked for one of the most evil beings that we still need more development on too. And then she went to work for also a neutral character over in Ravnica.
Mm-hmm.
She worked for Teysa and Ravnica, and just like, oh, okay. Oh, and actual evil's coming. Am I good?
Well, she also worked with Nicol Bolas on Ravnica.
That's right.
So like, she was doing wherever the coin led her, she would go. And now
until the bad guy came and just like, that's bad.
But even now, she talks about how she wishes things were simpler, and that she realizes that she doesn't need to be here, but she's already been paid, so she has to go through it with her job. And it's just very interesting to see her character. She's kind of a Han Solo type, where the coin is good and so am I.
But she's also leaning towards good.
Yes.
Actually, like Han Solo did, just like, well, snap, I gotta do this for the good of the galaxy now.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you will get to see more Kaya as the story unfolds. And next time we're going to talk about Nico and what they go through. So that's great.
And the Niners.
And Nico and the Niners. Okay, Joe, take it away.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a like if you like the video and subscribe to catch the next one. East is up, and thank you guys so much for watching.
Demon Duke control it. Demon Duke.